Good morning, guys. Happy May 1st, Sunday morning, May Day. And I checked this morning first thing, and no, World War III was not declared. Gee, sorry. Though the interesting part is, of course, in all the British tabloids, you have Putin is going to cede control of Russia for a few days while he goes in for cancer surgery. Of course, the only place this is being reported is in the tabloids in the UK. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. National Enquirer, are you watching? All right. So, what I want to talk about, this is an email I got a couple of days ago from Shanna. And I'm just going to read this to you here and we'll discuss it for a second. She goes, "What happens when we wake up one day and hear the news? We only have until X date to comply with the new currency/credit score system, or we don't get to do everyday commerce. The panic buys that would ensue on an already stressed system. At this point, it feels very real." Now, this is a very real possibility, okay? And, anybody that's followed the Elon Musk Twitter debacle, you hear all the stories there about, a social credit score to participate on Twitter. Don't care, okay? This is the thing. The only way something like that works is if the public complies. There's no other way to do it, okay? And as much as they want to say, oh, yeah, this is a great idea, look at China. It's like China's any place I want to use as a bastion for a place for something to follow. Hey, let's starve all our people. Let's shoot them in the streets. That wouldn't be it. So let's take this apart one by one. The new currency, Fed coin, right? This is what it's going to be. Now, anybody that served in the military in war, okay, whether it be World War II, not that there are a whole lot of those heroes still with us, but let's even say Korea. I'm not sure about Vietnam. Certainly not Afghanistan or anything. I'm talking about pre-internet days. Yes, and I know you could talk about Desert Storm and everything, but you go back to how the military was paid, and they were paid in scrip. Okay, just like we go back the old miners and everything like that. You were given something that you were told was of value to exchange in and amongst yourselves, but it had no value where you were anywhere else. That's kind of how I view FedCoin. Because is the rest of the world going to accept it? Maybe, maybe not. If they do, then what's the difference between it being the dollar? Okay. If they don't, then we have an issue. The problem is if you go back to these scripts in the military, they had to change them over and over and over again. Okay, you've probably seen videos or heard stories or read books where changing from red script to blue script or blue script to green script or whatever it would be. Why? Because it was very easily counterfeited. Now, this is where you get into the problem with a digital currency in the United States, or anywhere for that matter. You have to have something to peg everything else to, be it the dollar, be it gold, be it salt, be it seashells, okay, which have all been used as currency sometime as throughout the course of history. Because otherwise, what's to stop Bitcoin or Ethereum or Dogecoin or anything like that from just continuing? Wonderful that the Fed comes up and says, we're going to go to FedCoin. Unless the people accept it, it's worthless, right? As simple as that. So what you end up having happen at that point is if the people don't accept it, it doesn't matter. Can you imagine going into Walmart and buying your groceries or whatever the hell you buy at Walmart, and your printout receipt comes out, whatever it says, it's this amount in Bitcoin, this amount in Dogecoin, this amount in Ethereum, this amount in Fedcoin, this amount in seashells, this amount in salt. How would you like to pay? I mean, good luck. You have to have something that is stable that will go to it. That's why all these dreams of federal digital currency are idiotic. Could they go to a digital dollar? Sure. Is it going to get rid of the paper dollar? No. Okay, you're still going to have that. As much as the government wants to be able to control everything, it's not realistic. Okay, the only way it would work is if everybody had a handheld computer, i.e., a phone. Okay, a lot of people don't want to use them. Okay, don't tell me, well, gee, we'll give everybody one. You want to give everybody one? Give everybody an ID and let's have voter ID laws. You can't figure out how to do that, but you're going to figure out how to give everybody $1,000 piece of equipment and they're going to know how to use it? Think about the scams that go on now. Hi, this is so-and-so from Nigeria. You just won $47 million. Hi, this is so-and-so from the Social Security Department. You owe us this. Please pay your bill now, whatever it is. Can you imagine all the people out there who aren't supercomputer savvy? Go to Walmart. Oh, I want to pay in this coin. Okay. And the cashier says, as you're taking 15 minutes to figure out how to do it, cashier says, here, let me take your phone. Tap, 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 and I'll take care of it for you. And oh, by the way, I just moved $500 over to my account too. There's so many scams that are possible out of this new currency. It's unbelievable. Okay, and if you think that I'm coming up with some, think about what the scammers are already figuring out. I mean, they're already 6 steps ahead of everybody. But then you go into the social credit score. This one has a little bit more in the way of legs, is because the government could figure out some way to do it. Oh, we're going to put in a special beef tax. Oh, we're going to increase the gas tax. Or we're going to give you a credit for buying an EV. We already see that sort of stuff. There's social credit scores right there in play right now. You're penalized for doing what they don't want you to do, or incentivized by doing what they do want you to do. Okay, the climate nuts. Any of this credit score, I mean, let's say the movie Demolition Man. I know I go back to this, John Spartan, you're fined, whatever the hell the currency was for violating the verbal code or whatever it is, okay? Angry Prepper'd be broke. Just simple as that, okay? You'd have to go to work 40 hours a week just to pay off his fines. But, what is it going to be? Oh, you ate 2 eggs this week, okay? Here's your extra 50 cents in tax that you owe, or whatever it would be. It'll never work because the people won't accept it. I mean, again, same thing. Because are you going to watch what I eat every day? Hey, maybe you see that I took my grocery store card and went and I bought a dozen eggs and you're going to charge me. But you're certainly not going to see if I'm going to go to my neighbor and say, hey, can I get a dozen eggs from you? Okay, because that's what it'll bring. They start trying to mess with our economy, our social credit. We have to obey the idiots in charge. And people will just stop participating. And then they'll freak out because the business profits are down. Oh my God, I'm losing money. What's going on? We're not collecting tax revenue. What's going on? People are smarter than Washington gives them credit for. A lot smarter. I mean, politicians have a tendency to think that they are the only ones with active brain cells. Okay, and it goes back to what a lot of you guys say about the cops and stuff like that. They can't do anything. You call the cops, somebody's threatening my life. We can't do anything till he actually hurts you. Okay, the stupidity of how the law goes. There's no serve and protect. It's now serve and file a report. But Criminals are always ahead of the law, one step. The law is trying to catch up with the latest criminal activity. Now, I'm not saying that getting eggs from my neighbor is going to be criminal activity, but in the government's eyes, it may be. However, there's a few thousand of them, not including government employees, okay? There's hundreds of millions of us. We know who the actual criminals are. It's just going to be very interesting to see who winds up behind bars. Because not just preppers, the public is not going to accept this. Yes, there's a whole bunch of, youngsters and stuff like that. Millennials think, oh, gee, Bitcoin is the future, everything like that. Okay, I got more time in a bathroom than you got in life. So, once you have a little bit of, experience, talk to me. But, until then, I wouldn't worry about FedCoin. I wouldn't worry about social credit scores. At least in this guy's opinion, it ain't realistic. The people will never put up with it. Have a good Sunday. Pinball out.